listening to The Gender Rebels.
I'm Kathleen, a cis woman and ally.
And I'm Faith, a trans woman.
Gender Rebels is a question and answer podcast that explores life outside the gender binary.
A big thanks to our Patreon supporters.
If you'd like to support the show, go to patreon.com/genderrebels. Hey everyone, I'm Kath.
And I'm Faith.
We're the Gender Rebels.
Hey everyone.
Got any questions for us?
Actually, we have a bunch of questions. We have about 30 different questions from Cici and Sammie.
Cici and Sammie.
Y'all are like question writing machines.
You win.
So thank you very much for all your questions. And they're all great. And we're going to look at them and actually do a couple today. Because I think you said there's two questions that were very similar and related. So here's these questions from Sammie and Cici. Do you want to read them?
Sure.
Okay, there's this one and then there's one other one which I'll pull up.
Hey, Gender Rebels. We, like you, are a cis woman and trans woman, Cici and Sammie. We are in the early stages of Sammie's hormone therapy and have a question for you. Erections! Sammie's doc told her that the end of erections is how they judge the success of the hormone therapy. Yikes. Maybe this question is too X-rated for the podcast, but we are feeling conflicted about parting with Sammie's erections. Please advise and thank you. We love you and are so grateful for the podcast and can't wait to hear from you, Cici and Sammie. Oh, you guys.
All right, so that's one of their questions. Let's get to the other one real quick and then we'll do all of these.
Hey, Kath and Faith. We, like you, are a cis woman and trans woman duo of Gender Rebels, Cici and Sammie. Yay. Yay! Early stages of Sammie's M to F gender-affirming hormone therapy and have a question for you. One thing Sammie has been, and is still hoping for, is the, quote, remarkable clearing of the mind. Quote, the sense of relief described by trans women that comes from eliminating their masculine sex drive, which had previously interrupted their thoughts like a car alarm that couldn't be shut off. Sammie wonders, will the squirrel like effect of girls' curves in yoga pants ever diminish? Is there tranquility ahead? Would love to hear the experiences and thoughts of you, Kath and Faith, as well as our fellow Gender Rebels in podcast land. Love, Sammie and Cici. It's really, really good question.
Yeah, thank y'all for those questions and for listening.
And other listeners, please send us your questions. We love, love, love to hear them.
I think it's awesome that y'all are a couple kind of committed to doing this transition together.
Yeah.
And
I had heard that, what they mentioned about the masculine sex drive and how it is so powerful and how it does override other things you are trying to do or trying to focus on or really has a very powerful effect on your relationships. If your sex drive is so strong, then it does distract from other things that you might need to be paying attention to in relationships.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's interesting because, okay, the two questions, the boners and the sex drive, that sexual attraction, that sort of taking over your brain, so to speak, those have the same antecedent. And it is basically testosterone. Mm-hmm. So when you're taking an MTF hormone therapy, you're probably going to be taking spironolactone, which is a popular testosterone blocker. It's a T blocker, as we say in the biz. Mm-hmm. And some of the things that does is that basically shuts down your body's production of testosterone. It can literally shrink your testicles. Mm-hmm. I think that the shrinking of the testicles is a side effect because I think your body is like, we don't need these anymore.
That makes
so
sense.
Let's not put any resources toward these. This happens, like, why astronauts get like muscle atrophy in space because if your body's not using something, it's like, let's put those resources elsewhere.
Because
like to new boobs.
Maintaining it's expensive.
It is.
All the glucose, all that cellular regeneration, all the circulatory system, like if that's not being used, we'll just send all that money.
Resources,
glucose, oxygen, movement to other parts that you are using.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're spanking new boobs.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to definitely see reduced erections. I've never actually heard that we use the lack of boners to say HRT has worked. What did they tell you when you started? Well, okay, erections okay, there's spontaneous erections. That's one thing. And then there's like getting there erections because you're turned on. Mm-hmm. So if you got your testosterone pumping like a cis male generally would, you're going to get like your morning wood every morning.
What's morning wood?
What's morning wood? It's erections in the morning that you wake up with because your body's testosterone cycles throughout a 24-hour, actually a 23.5-hour period.
Interesting.
And it's actually, your testosterone's actually strongest in the morning.
Huh.
So you wake up with a boner.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's, you don't wake up turned on. You don't wake up raring to go. You
No.
just wake up and you're like, oh, that's the state of this particular organ right now. That's interesting.
Exactly. So,
is it annoying or painful or anything?
It's not. It can be annoying if you really have to pee.
Okay.
And if you really, really have to pee in the morning and you've got a boner, that can cause difficulty.
Can you expand on what difficulty is?
Yes. It can hurt to pee through a boner.
Aww.
It can spray all over the place in 8 different directions. Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad you asked?
So glad.
Yeah. So guys, if that does happen, or girls, if that does happen, do clean it up.
Please.
Yeah.
Clean it up. Like
And
the
so-
ceiling?
No, I probably can't get that high, but like depending on how tall you are, I guess.
Or how much you have to pee.
How much you have to pay, but no, it can go out in 3 or 4 different streams, and it can be a little
I've
messy.
heard of split streams, so.
Yes,
okay.
it's like Ghostbusters. No, that's crossing the streams.
Right, that's a different.
Yeah. And basically, testosterone's your body's way of telling your brain that, hey, you really need to fuck someone and get these genes spread, because a human body is basically a gene's way of making more genes.
Correct.
And so you've got this billion-year history behind you of your genes going, mate, spread us.
Yes.
So that's testosterone. When you lose your testosterone, when you kill your testosterone, yeah, you're going to lose that to a certain extent. What Sammie and Cici describe of like a sense of relief or a quote remarkable clearing of the mind unquote, I don't recall that.
I have heard that from other trans people, other sources. It's like this tremendous relief, this tremendous burden dropped that finally you can focus and think and talk to people and walk around and just be normal.
That's weird because I had a low libido or I
possible.
Just never had. I don't know. I never felt like that.
Or maybe you just compartmentalized it in a way that was different from a lot of people.
It's possible. I mean, because like I'm still attracted to women. I will still see a beautiful woman and be like, that is a beautiful woman. I can even see a beautiful woman in yoga pants and be like, she's a beautiful woman in yoga pants. But I don't think it's like. There's some behaviors that are not inborn that are cultural. And that's a lot of like the guys like turning their head and staring at the chick's ass or commenting or anything like that. There's always those like slapstick comedies where like, you know, they'll be like the painters or something. And then the pretty girl walks by and they all start like painting each other's faces or something.
Right.
They're so caught up in this chick. I've never really had that. I did almost once get in a bicycle accident. It was the only time I ever really got in like potentially serious bicycle accident, and it was because of a cute chick.
That's interesting.
So that was before we met, though.
That I don't care.
Okay.
You're here, okay. So I guess it's like there's grades of this, right? There's gradations to how much this can distract a cis guy and how much this can affect your life. So like if you oogle a pretty girl in front of your mom or your female boss or something like that, and you are so compelled to do this oogling and there's no society restriction that would make you not do that. You know, I think that's the kind of thing is there are some guys who are like that, who do have to admire beautiful hair or gorgeous face or whatever the hell guys are looking at, legs, I don't know. And I don't know. I don't know. I've never been there. So
I don't think I have either. I think I was on one end of the spectrum
Okay.
as far as when I was presenting male and had testosterone. I had enough body hair to know I had testosterone.
Totes.
So it wasn't that I didn't have testosterone. But I don't think I ever experienced that.
So what were the changes? Did you feel any sex drive changes?
I think my sex
blockers?
drive is diminished.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to get too personal into this. But yeah, that happens. And I think that happens to a lot of people. And as far as, that hurting erections, that can definitely happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think every body reacts to HRT differently.
Sure.
Like I said, when your doctor said, that's how we know it's working, or that's how we know it's succeeded, I'm not exactly 100% sure what they mean by that, because their HRT is a multi-year process. It's 3 years or so until it's really done. And I think you lose erections, like spontaneous erections, like early on.
Interesting.
So that may be a way to, like, it's working, as in, like, your body's got chemical receptors that will accept this.
So you think it's more like morning wood will go away?
Morning wood goes away. Spontaneous erections kind of go away.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've noticed, and this is actually fun, I actually kind of enjoy this, is that I think my sexuality has gone a little more feminine.
Interesting.
As far as, I'm not just, like, instantly turned on by something.
Okay.
Again,
so it's a build.
It's a build, and I have to be in the right frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, I think sex or sexual activity or whatever was mainly physical, touch, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I think now it's mainly mental, and I've read that's how women are.
Yeah.
So it may be that the hormones have switched a switch in my brain, that my brain's like, well, we're a chick now, so this is how we are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so you do have to be, then it's less about your junk and more about your brain as far as your sexual activity. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that any part of that's bad.
Oh no, it's good.
I actually think that's kind of cool. I like that. And
but that's interesting. It makes me think it's a spectrum. And you mentioned touch as one way to stimulate and to get someone interested in sex. And at the other end of that spectrum is thinking as the way to get someone stimulated and interested in sex. And of course, it's not just A or B, on or off, black or white. There's a whole spectrum in there.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you sort of phased away from the touch. It's not that touch means nothing.
Yeah.
But that it's only a component now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, touch could get you there even if your brain wasn't getting you there.
Yeah.
And on the other end of the spectrum, there are people who need both, just need to think their way there, and also some touch needs to be involved. And there are people who can do it entirely with their minds. I heard of a lady who could think herself into orgasm.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that's a true story.
I'm reading a book about the science of dreams, and there are people who have had lucid dreams where they can come in their lucid dreams.
Weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they actually, like, MRI'd them, and they're having orgasms in their brain.
Pretending. All
yeah.
Right.
So
there's a whole spectrum, and that does sound like a more interesting and complex, but a more difficult way for your sexuality to be kickstarted, for you to do lovemaking. Well, cool.
Yeah.
I like how girls look in yoga pants.
Yeah. Well, I think my sexuality has not really changed. I've heard, I know some people have reported that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like, I don't know. I can still appreciate beautiful people, beautiful women when I see them, but, like, I don't know that I've ever had that gawky thing. I don't know if I've ever had that, like, I must stop everything I'm doing now
to watch.
So I don't know. I think if you have that, it's likely that HRT is going to affect that, and it may offer that calming for you.
Yeah. Or just sort of decouple that mechanism, that mental mechanism from just how you think versus how you make love, and you are able to separate the two because you are not so compelled by that. We've said it before, and I'll say it again. Tea is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
It is a hell of a drug.
And there's also the thing that trans girls have to deal with is, which is seeing a beautiful woman and looking at her and being like, do I want to bone her or do I want to be her?
I like what I see, but I'm not sure why.
Little column A, little column B?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And as far as erections go, there's more to sex than boners.
Sure.
If there wasn't, there'd be no such thing as gay girls having sex.
Correct.
And gay girls have sex all the time. There's probably gay girls having sex right now.
This very minute.
Listening to this.
Yeah.
No, not really.
No. Ladies, come on. A time and place, please.
So yeah, I think you can definitely have that. I think you can open up the bedroom. You can see this opportunity and be like, okay, boners may not be as reliable, as easy to come by, but you've got an opportunity to explore a bajillion different things in the bedroom.
And the thing about sex is there's that very traditional idea of penis and vagina. A boner happens, the girl gets wet, pumping happens, maybe she enjoys it, maybe she doesn't, he gets off, the end. Maybe she gets taken care of, maybe she doesn't. I hope I didn't project a bunch of my stuff out there. But anyway, so that's like sex, right? So
I think that's a traditional idea, and I think that's what a lot of us were taught.
Good.
Yeah,
that's
it was normal. Yeah.
So the thing is, there is the male orgasm is like what sex is for. That has sort of been a perception. That's sort of been what we were taught. Obviously, that is not correct. Once again, lesbians are having sex right now to the sounds of my voice. And the interesting thing about HRT and what it does to erections and what it does to what's the word I'm thinking of? The erotic urge.
Yeah.
But there's a word that isn't gross.
Okay.
For what that is. But it's also not feeling horny, because I hate that term.
There's no good words for it.
The desire for sexual activity.
The libido.
Thank you. How fast that comes on, how you sustain that, what you can do during that time to lose that. Boner starts, boner does a thing, boner finishes, really concrete oversimplification of what the sex act can be. To lose that, stuff gets fun. Now, it's not fun right away. You do have to play around and find some fun things and discover things, and it takes a little longer, and there's no rush, and you can talk, and you can stretch it out, and there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, and you do sometimes sort of have to relearn what your sexuality is going to be, what your erotic activity is going to be. That takes a little bit of doing, a little bit of research, a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's different, it's new, but it's fun. I promise you that. So to lose the erection, I can get how that can be a big change in the sex act for people, especially for people who were presenting as cis straight couple and thought they were and were sexing that way the whole time. But it's there's more to it.
It's like if you were playing guitar and you only played one string ever.
Yeah.
And then that string broke, and you're like, well, now I can't play guitar. There's
Bullshit.
like a whole, there's pedals, there's
like a
5 other
slider
strings,
thing.
there's a little country music slide thing, there's a whammy bar, there's all kinds of stuff.
There's amplifiers, and there's ways to tune, there's so much
There's
fun
double
stuff.
guitars, double neck guitars.
There's keytars.
Yeah.
The thing is, that one string, that did it, right? That got the job done. You knew what to do. Everyone talked about that string. You played that string. Well, this works. Okay. Awesome. I'm guitaring very, very well.
Yeah.
The way I should be. The way everyone does. And then you lose that string. Well, good news. It doesn't depend on that string entirely.
No, it doesn't. And I think that can be a really healthy place to be. And like Kath said, it can take a while to get there. And our culture has long said that the worst thing that a guy can do is probably not rape someone or murder someone. The worst thing a guy can do is be impotent.
Is to lose the ability to get an erection.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm not even a man
exactly.
anymore.
And so I think there's probably going to be some residual issues with that. Because that's we're long taught that that's the biggest, most huge thing that a guy can do. I mean, okay, no, sorry. The worst thing a guy can do is get a sex change.
Obviously, yeah.
Second is be gay.
Yeah.
And third is be impotent. So,
they all involve the penis.
So the point is like, there may be some issues, and the point is that there might be some residual getting over that. We carry that deep within our core thanks to society and its shittiness.
That's programmed really strongly into our minds. But that is programming. That is not biology.
Exactly. And so there's going to be some getting over that, but this is awesome. This is a great time to like figure your own self out.
Yeah, have fun. Take your time. Play.
Yeah.
Just get in there and play. You're going to love it.
And talk to your partner. Mm-hmm. Talk to your partner about your own fears, your own feelings of inadequacy or anything, should they come up. Anything. Talk. Work through this, because this will be a great time for you to be more intimate with your partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
New and interesting in different ways. Again, it's not going to happen overnight. It won't be, boom, here we are. It's figuring stuff out, which is fun. Yeah,
and as far as girls in yoga pants, I think you're still going to enjoy girls in yoga pants. And I think sometimes you'll want to be like, where'd she get those yoga pants? but other times you're going to be like, damn, that's hot. And I don't think that damn that's hot has ever gone away. But I do think that what some people might be saying about like that being like a laser focus type of thing of a cartoon wolf with erection eyes and the tongue dropping out. Is it Tex Avery? Tex Avery. Sure. Red Riding Hood one. I don't think that, I don't know if I've experienced that, but if I have...
From what I've read, that does go away. Yes.
Okay.
We're reading the same sources, Cici.
I'll definitely say, though, aesthetically, you can still totally be like, that chick's hot.
Again, be respectful. Don't shout things on the street.
Oh, of course not.
But you get to admire people. People present themselves in what they feel is a great look for them.
Yeah.
When they have time to care about it and money and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying. Well, cool. I hope we didn't just totally waste your time. I think it was sort of interesting.
And I think for all the people who have been asking us to talk about boners and sex and erections, which we've gotten about 20 different questions over the years.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can thank Sam and Cici for finally getting us to do the episode. And happy holidays, everyone.
Yes.
Whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. And I guess all we have left is just word from our sponsor.
You guys were very excited to introduce our sponsor.
We haven't done ads before, but
we found a group that we really like what they offer.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us what they offer?
What it is Ibuflex. Ibuflex is actually a single HRT pill that you can take. It's from Pfizer. Izium. And they're not related to the more famous Pfizer, but Pfizer Izium is actually a very good company, I think. And this is one simple pill that you can take once a month, and boom, takes care of all your HRT needs. No taking pills every day.
No shots, no gels, nothing messy, nothing painful. It's a pill. This works for female to males and male to females.
Yep. Ibuflex may come with some side effects, though.
Guys, get ready. Maybe get a pen. You may turn evil. This effect has been noted in 0.8% of the participants in the clinical trials.
If you experience extra teeth, speak to your dentist. Your doctor can no longer help you.
You may experience what we describe as incandescence. When this happens, consult a lawyer. Your doctor can no longer help you.
Some users of Ibuflex have experienced suicidal thoughts, homicidal thoughts, regicidal thoughts, and fratricidal thoughts.
We have not, as of this time of recording, had anyone report matricidal thoughts.
If you experience finger drop-off, that's normal.
Embrace it.
Some users may experience tingling in their limbs, or no limbs, if they experience limb drop-off.
Many users have reported something called gingerbread mind. it has not been easy to elucidate what exactly this is. It's pretty common, though.
If you do experience gingerbread mind, do not speak with any red-headed people.
Ever. For the rest of your life.
It can be a mimetic virus that can infect others, but only redheads.
Approximately half of users report sleep disturbance, specifically night terrors, specifically disturbing sexual night terrors.
About Ron Howard.
I like Ron Howard.
I know.
I just
a
don't
lot
want
of
a
people
disturbing
do.
sexual
No,
night terror.
they don't.
I'm Ron Howard.
If you experience an erection that lasts more than 17 days, please consult Guinness. That will be a world record.
That's impressive. There have been unfounded reports, unsubstantiated by the researchers, and not observed by any of the experimental staff of Sparklefoot. If you find yourself experiencing Sparklefoot, it is imperative that you get a photo, because we are dying to see what this is.
1 in 4 users have reported ibuflex madness. Ibuflex madness, otherwise known as ibuflex rage, can cause mild irritability.
2 out of every 10 ibuflex users.
Or 1 in 5.
No, it's important that we go with 2 out of 10. You'll see why in a moment.
Okay.
Find themselves inexplicably merging with each other. This has happened across distant cities. If this happens, go to the emergency room immediately. Both of you. Don't go apart. You need both of you now. Also, make friends. Just trust me. You might as well.
Users may also experience eye removal by a man named Pete, who will come around to their house with an ice cream scooper. We don't know how he gets people's addresses. He must have broken into our computer system.
He was never part of the payroll. He is not part of the staff.
No.
Some kind of hacker, perhaps.
If you see Pete, report him to the police immediately.
He's an old white guy. He looks like a gold prospector, except he's waving an ice cream scoop around. We are not even fucking kidding about this. Lock your doors.
You may also experience itching. Every day, constantly, never ending. Nothing can soothe it. This might be related to the ibuflex rage. We don't know.
Or the eyeball thing. Most people report it in the back of their eye sockets, and 3 out of the 10 people who've had eyes removed by Pete reported it was a very relieving experience. There was hair growing in the eye sockets. There, I said it. I violated patient privacy.
Oh dear. Well, HIPAA's on to us.
We didn't use any names, so it's totes okay.
Nope.
Spontaneous tattooing has been reported by one guy who we're pretty sure is a liar. And we weren't sure if that meant like he would do tattoos on people or he like had tattoos emerge on his skin. Either way, be careful, I guess.
Some users have experienced scheduled human combustion. Usually around 3 in the afternoon on Tuesdays.
This held consistent even though testing was conducted both in and out of a leap year.
And in that area of Indiana where they don't have daylight savings.
Thanks, Aaron Sorkin.
Well, should we wrap it up?
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Do not take this drug. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
We'll talk to you next time.
All right, everyone.
Bye-bye!
If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making more great content, go to patreon.com/genderrebels.
We have many different levels of support and lots of great rewards,
including drinks with the Gender Rebels at Stonewall.
Please leave a 5-star review on iTunes. That makes it easier for other people to find us.
And send your questions to questions@genderrebels.com. Or find us on Twitter @TheGenderRebels.
Music for The Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Follow the link down below or download them on iTunes today.
And for all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.
The Gender Rebels is a Comeback Sync production, copyright 2018. All rights reserved.
And to all you gender rebels out there, keep rebelling.
Bye.
Bye. Billion different things in the bedroom, including the fact, I don't know if this is TMI, but there's some fun new things that HRT does as far as nipples. So that's like a whole new thing opening up.
And here's the thing about
God doesn't close one door without opening another. So
God opened a nipple window. And that's
let
the title.
me get this for you. So,
and the thing about sex is there's that very traditional idea of penis and vagina